everybody? Welcome back to the Growing Pains podcast with Big Z and the Wolf. It's the second episode of this segment that we have here, these shorter segments. I don't know how everybody felt about the first. Seems like we're getting some good reactions, so
a lot of good feedback.
Hopefully we get some more. One thing I did want to say that Z brought up is like, look, send us some topics, send us some scenarios, some things you went through that you want us to talk about.
Yeah, we'll give you our opinion on it.
Yeah, our take. And like, look, man, we're not scared to talk about anything. You can ask us
anything.
Who's going to be the president. You can ask us how many genders there are in the world.
Everything.
Like, we'll get sticky and we're not worried about it. That's what we're here for. We say our opinions and everybody can have their own. So that's why we live in America.
Absolutely.
So today's episode, again, we got two topics. We're going to end it off with a quote. Hopefully we get some more viewer interactions with the quote, see how you guys feel about it, and we'll go from there. But the first topic that we got is personal appearance.
That's a
tough one.
Yeah.
For some people.
For some people, for sure.
I think you just got to kind of know, like,
what you're getting into.
Yeah, exactly.
Really,
like, if you're going to the park, like, you wear basketball shorts and basketball shoes.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But, like,
you're going out to a fancy dinner, dress up a little bit.
Yeah, like, it's maybe not shorts and sneakers and, you know what I mean? Like, you just gotta know where you're at. And, like, look, personal appearance goes for, like, look, I got tattoos.
Yeah, I got them on my hand.
Fucking, like,
right here.
but my thing is, like, I've always looked at it like I carry myself well enough that, like, even somebody that's against tattoos is gonna see the tattoos, but I'm gonna break through however they feel about that.
Yep.
The way I carry myself.
For sure.
And I don't even think it's not even like a conversation. It's just like, oh, he has tattoos. And then I'm like, oh, how you doing, ma'am?
Yeah.
Like, how can I help you? And and it's just like your personal appearance is definitely a part of like your professionalism too. Where you're at. Like, look, if you go out to the club, whatever, like there's just events where
you gotta dress up a little bit.
You gotta dress, and especially like, look, like, I get a fucking haircut. You know what I mean?
At
like,
very least.
you're going to like a work event. You're going to a convention. Like, fucking put some deodorant on, brush your teeth in the morning.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, that's just basic shit. But also like we were talking off camera too. Like, you bought how many suits this year?
I can say that I started this year with 0 suits. I have 5, and this week I'll be closing in on 6.
Yeah, and it's like, now, did you need suits before?
Yeah, I did, but I half-assed it.
Yeah.
I did a nice polo with a pair of dress pants.
But that's still, like, you still were...
I was trying, I wasn't in the position to make a suit happen at the time.
Exactly,
so
and, like, in your professional, like, career, when you were doing, like, the polo and dress pants, like, what were you doing at that point? Like mechanic work, or like...
I was working at a deli.
Yeah, so it's like, look, now, like, you're in an office setting, more professional, and it's like, you gotta grow with your life, you know what I mean? Like, you're at the point where it's like,
gotta grow.
A suit is gonna be needed sometimes.
Yes,
you know what I mean? Like, we just had a big event.
I've had a lot of weddings this year, and I was not showing up in a polo and dress pants.
Yeah.
I was not doing that.
And that's the thing too. Like, look, sometimes, like, I don't know, I'm big
and
suit guy.
to be honest with you, though, I was just about to say I love dressing up. I love a suit.
Man. I would wear a suit every day in my life.
Every day,
like,
if I could, yeah.
And sometimes, like, if I'm going to a wedding, like, look, I'm getting decked out. Like, and if you're the groom, cause.
You got
I'm sorry, bro, but, like, this is what I do. Like, I'm ready. Like, I'm wearing fucking the lubes on the feet. Like, I'm going all out.
Rolex like, on the wrist.
Like, I wish, like, it was more like, what was that? Maybe the 40s, the 50s, or whatever.
Yeah, where they wore
suits all the time. Like, dude, I would love that.
I would absolutely love that. Matter of fact, I like the older suits too.
Yeah, like the Peaky Blinders.
Yeah, that's a nice suit.
I got one of them like twill suits. It's nice. I wore it. I think 2 years ago. My wife kills me. I'm big on like look 2024. I'm trying to get away from it, but I'm big on like I have an event like
new suit.
I want some fresh shit.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
And I'm that way now. I don't want to wear the same suit to multiple occasions. I mean, I know that sounds crazy.
It does.
Listen, when I was first told to not wear the same suit to an event with the same people that you wore that suit with. I never heard that, and I thought it was crazy, but now I don't want to wear that suit no more. I want a new suit.
The thing with me is, like, I have some crazy suits that are, like, people will remember them, you know what I mean? But then I have some that are just, like, blue with pinstripes, and, like, I think about it, like...
Just regular suits.
Like, I can't tell you, like, I've wore suits with the same people multiple occasions.
Right.
And it's like, I can't tell you if they wore the same one. You know what I mean?
You're right. You're absolutely right.
Like, when you look at it that way, like, I can't remember if they wore the same suit. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't, but it's just like...
Maybe they changed just the undershirt or something like that.
And that's the thing, like, if you get a blue suit, a black suit, and a beige suit, I've seen...
You can make a whole bunch of
You
suits.
can wear, like, 8 different suits.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I've been trying to do, is just mix and match the blazers with the pants, and...
I'm at the point where I want a freaky suit. I want plaid.
I got a nice plaid,
I've
beige
seen your
plaid,
and I think that is
three-piece.
such a nice suit. I want one
The
so bad.
three-piece plaid is nice. That's like my go. That's like, but that's the thing is, like, I can't wear that all the time.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's a poppin' suit.
And
you
it's
know,
like,
you
look,
remember that
I
one.
gotta say though, like, if you're not in the position to be out there buying suits and all that stuff, and you're wearing the same suit,
and polo and dress pants is fine.
Exactly.
That'll work. That will work.
Also, like, a turtleneck. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yes.
like, look, I know.
It depends the season
I know
too,
people.
though.
Yeah, I know people that just wear button-ups with dress pants and some dress shoes. Like, that's cool too.
That's cool.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but it's like,
absolutely.
you gotta know enough about where you're going, and like, you gotta have some, like, mind to yourself to know.
I know
like,
everybody does it. You gotta text somebody that you're going with and asking them what they're wearing. I know everybody does it.
And it's like, my thing is, like, just look in the mirror before you fucking go somewhere and think about, like, if somebody walked in wearing the same shit as you, like, and look, some people just don't give a shit about their appearance, and it's like, that's okay, but, like, look, a first impression can be everything.
And you never know when you'll have that first impression with somebody that might mean something to you. You know,
Exactly.
You could go out to dinner one night and meet Joe Schmo, and he's got it all going. He wants to, you know, you're chatting with him. He's got a lot going for him. You know, you might want to go on there, but if you're wearing basketball shorts and a t-shirt, he's not gonna even approach you.
And a lot of, like, professional and successful people, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, they won't even approach you. Like, that's a good point. It's like, when they see, like...
They're like, who's this guy?
Like, when they see... Like, look, I look young. Like, I look like a young kid. But when I go out and I'm dressed up... and you know what I mean? And the way you're carrying yourself, like, that makes you more, like... People are more attracted to you and ready to start a conversation. And that's the biggest thing. And even so, like, if you recognize somebody out... Like, when we were at the Ashton Cigar Bar, and we're like, you see people and you just think they're successful.
Yeah.
And look, they could be broke as shit, but they know how to carry themselves.
Right.
And, like, that'll get you to a certain... That's not gonna... Look, you can't fake it always.
Right.
But, like, just carrying yourself and having that appearance will, like, open some doors for you.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Definitely open doors for you.
Especially if you run into the right person.
Yes.
And that's the thing, is, like, especially now, like, if we run into somebody and we're out and about, like, I want to get them on a podcast. They're not going to get on my podcast if I look like a fucking grindball.
Yeah,
You
you're
know
absolutely right. And I can tell you this, before, I would say, within the last 3 years, I really changed and became the person to dress correctly in the right events. I mean, I know that I was definitely that guy to go out to dinner in sweatpants and a hoodie, you know what I mean? I was that guy for a little bit. But, I would, honestly, my girlfriend,
Yeah,
she changed
it's a big
it.
one.
She changed it, you know. I didn't know how to dress, and she's been helping me out with it. And
I think a lot of females help with that too. Like, look, you find a guy that you like, has, you know, those attributes that you're attracted to, and, you know, then they kind of put the puzzle pieces together and say, like, no, you can't wear them sweatpants. You know what I mean? And, like,
and then you become I mean, you don't become a girl, but you know, I know how.
Yo, dude, I changed like 6 times before I go somewhere.
Say, like, if
my wife hates it.
If you're a girl, like, if you have a girlfriend, I know when she's dressing up to go out, she asks you how this looks.
Yeah.
Right? I come to find out I'm that guy now. I'm like, how do I look? Do I look good?
Yeah.
You know?
And my thing is, too, like, one thing that's big with me is, like, I'll put on an outfit and then I'll change. And for me, it's just like, I want to look good, but I also want to be comfortable in what I'm wearing.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Sometimes you're like thinking you want to wear an outfit and you put it on and
Right.
you're kind of like skeptical about it, and it's
Yeah.
like when I go out and I'm wearing something and I feel good in it, like
Yeah.
I think like my presence is stronger. Like I could wear something the same way, but if I don't feel good in it, like you're gonna kind of be like self-conscious.
Right. Yeah.
Whereas like when you go out and you're like, oh, this is the one.
I'm the guy. I'm that guy.
Yeah, exactly. But like you said about like you weren't like that. That kind of goes to what we're gonna talk about next. Is like
Yeah.
it's time to grow up.
It is time to grow up.
You know what I mean? Now that's pretty broad. That's kind of people are gonna take it harsh, but like
because you can like I could still grow up today.
exactly.
You know what I
And the
mean?
thing is like what I really want to talk about is like when is it time to grow up? Now it can be different for everybody. There's
Right.
like a general like look, you graduate high school, you go to college, time to grow
Yes.
up. Like
Yeah.
I think I grew up at like 16, 17 when I got my first job and I
Yeah,
started
we
getting a
both.
little money.
Yeah. I'm
You know what I
same
mean?
Boat. You
And-
know, I was 16 years old. You know, once you start making your own money, then your parents are like, all right,
Yeah.
you got bills now.
Yeah, done. I mean, I was making like $300 a week, and I was
Yeah.
like, I like this. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And like, I was always big on like being independent. Like, I wanted to buy my own car. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't want my parents to buy me a car. Like, I wanted to move out, like live on my own. Like, I always wanted to do that, but like, I don't know. When is it time to grow up? Like, when is it time to get your first job? You know,
Yeah.
like, what do you think? Like, when's it time for kids
Me
now?
personally, when it's time to get your first job is the second you turn 16 years old.
Yeah.
You should be applying for jobs.
There's
I
some
mean,
people that get
listen,
jobs even younger than that too.
Yeah, if you can swing, I know like legally you're not allowed to work until you're 16.
Yeah.
Great if you got a job before that, so you already know the value of a dollar. You know, the value of a dollar ain't nothing right now.
Exactly. And that's the
So-
thing too. You get your first job and you hear like whatever at $10 an hour, and it's
Yeah.
like damn, all right, like.
Yeah.
But then you get the money and you see how fast it goes
It
out.
goes extremely fast.
And,
I
like-
remember getting a paycheck of $300 and spending that $300 that Friday night.
Oh, all the time.
You know what I mean?
All the time.
And then you fucking broke all week.
Yeah, I get a check now sometimes, and I spend
I
it.
know.
I'm like, how the fuck?
On the first of the
How
month,
did
that's
I
the check
survive?
go.
How did I survive when I was making like $400? Now I make like way more than that,
Right.
and I'm like, how the fuck?
Yeah.
What was I doing then?
How the fuck did I even live?
So I agree. Like 16,
Yeah.
get a fucking job. Like start learning the value of the dollar. Start
Yes.
like really seeing like what you're worth too. I
Yeah.
feel like people know when you're working really hard on a job and you're not making a lot of money.
Yeah.
You kind of start to know your worth. Like
Yeah,
I need
absolutely.
like that,
You
and that
need
helps
more.
you. That helps you when you get into like a corporate setting or a actual like. A lot of people get jobs at like I don't know, Target. I guess you could say is corporate, or like
Walmart.
fast food, Walmart,
Yeah.
things like that.
Yep.
But that's I don't know. There's not much of like I feel like a structure to like grow as much there. Maybe there is. I can't say. I never worked there.
There is, but like it's not.
But once you get into a corporate setting and it's like you're going in and asking for raises, like you don't know when to go in and ask for a raise
Yeah.
if it's your
And one
first
thing to
job.
do. That's never. Listen, I mean.
Prove
it-
your worth, you're gonna get a raise.
Yeah, I was gonna say
I feel all
it's
in all.
never. It's never. Me personally, I feel like you should never ask for a raise. You always ask how you can make more money.
Yeah.
That's more of the corporate way of saying it, I guess, rather than saying, "Hey, can I get a raise?" You know
Exactly.
what I
Like
mean?
walk in and say, "Hey, look, I've been here for a year. You
I've
know,
been
I'm
working
working.
as hard as I
I'm working
can."
as hard as I can.
Yeah.
Where do you think I can grow? I want to get more financially stable in
Right.
my life."
Yeah.
And like you say that to somebody,
And they're like, "Okay, this
9
guy's
times out
fucking
of 10,
hungry."
they're probably going to give you a raise right there and
Yeah,
then.
yeah.
You know, and they're going to say, "You know what? We've been watching you. We realize that as well.
Yeah.
We're going to give you a $10,000 bump."
Right.
Or whatever it is. Or if you're not that guy and they say, "Listen, you know, we've been seeing you. We feel like you have some shortcomings in your customer
Yeah.
interactions." Then okay, that's where you need to grow. And
Yeah.
like,
and then do better on those things, and then it'll come.
and the thing is, like, don't be the same. Like if somebody tells you how you can grow,
but
don't just not do it and
Right.
expect to grow.
Right.
Like that's what a lot of people do. They think they can just stay the same and grow, and,
Right.
and you can't.
And a lot of the times, if you're if you're doing that and you know you're doing it correctly, I mean, I know a lot of jobs, like these corporate jobs, are unappreciative.
Yeah.
You know? You could be doing 10 out of 10 above and beyond always, and they're going to say, oh, we need more from you.
For
you
sure.
know, that's when you need to know your worth.
And you also need to know, like, look, if you think you're really good at customer interactions and they tell you you need to build on that, maybe it's because when the CEO walked through, you weren't handling a situation right, and that's that, like we were saying, their first impression. That's their first impression on you. That's what they're going to tell you need to grow on.
Right.
So, like, when these higher-ups do come through, like, that's when you need to shine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't, like, fold
I mean,
and
listen,
buckle.
you should be shining 24/7.
You should be trying all the time.
Yeah,
but if you think you're doing good,
really shine when they walk in through, for sure.
Not even really shine, but if you think you're doing it the right way, when they come through, do it the way that you've been doing it, that you believe is right, and then really get their opinion on it too. Like, if you see somebody walk through and you're in a customer interaction and it's over with and they're still there, just say, hey, Mr. Smith, how do you think I handled that?
Right.
Then they're going to see, for one, like, you are taking action. Then they're going to say, oh, well, maybe you should have done this. Or they're going to say, oh, that was great. You're killing it. We really see you're working on yourself.
Right.
Like, you got to put it out there, like, look at me, look at me, look at me. I'm trying to grow.
Yeah.
And not just sit back in the shadows and, you know what I mean? Like, you got
let them
to
walk by, not see nothing.
So that's the job on it's time to grow up.
It's time.
So what about, like, moving out? It's a tricky situation just because I moved out when I was, like, I think 19, maybe 20.
I moved out 2021-ish. I got my first apartment.
Yeah, and it's like, it's different for everybody age-wise, just because if you go to college, you might go to college and then move back into your parents while you get your job, and then maybe move out at
straight.
22, 23, 24, whatever it is. Yeah. But look, I think once you're in a job and you're like, I don't think if you're in like a, I don't know, I feel bad saying like Walmart and things like that. If you're in like a starter position in a Walmart, a Target, whatever, a Best Buy, like, it's okay to still be living with your parents and saving up to move out.
Yeah.
But you gotta have that, like if I lived at my parents right now, people would think I'm a millionaire. I'd be buying a fucking I'd buy a G-Wagon. I'd buy a G-Wagon, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know, some people, they like that because you do have a lot higher financial freedom when you live with your parents, or you know what I mean?
But at the same time, it's time to grow up.
Exactly. And that's my thing, is like, I feel like once you're in a position where, like, you do have enough money and financially stable enough to move out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're not financially stable enough to move out, obviously,
right. And
don't
I'll tell you
move out.
what, it's also, I mean, maybe it depends on your parents' financial, you know, where they're at financially, but it definitely puts a burden on them, really. You don't realize how much goes into, you know, moving out, you know, buying your own food, buying your own...
I bought 5 things at Target, it was like $150.
You know, buying your own paper towels, buying your own fucking laundry detergent, buying your own toilet bowl cleaner, buying your own hammer to put a picture on the wall.
Everything.
You know? There's a lot that goes into it, a lot of people don't think about, you know.
And a lot of parents, too, like, look, as a parent, like, I don't think you necessarily want your kids to get out.
Or struggle,
but at some point, like, a parent is like,
it's time.
It's time. You know what I mean? And look, some people go to school and then they go for their doctorate. Like, I don't think there's an age you can really put on it. But I
think, me personally, I would say we'll do like a broad spectrum of like a year that you should move out. I think maybe 26, 27.
Yeah, and like, now look,
you know,
if you're in school, if you're in college and then you go to whatever and then you go for your doctorate, like, sometimes that can prolong things, and like, that's okay. But like, if you're out of college and you're getting, like, if you're getting money and if you're driving a convertible Corvette and you're living at your parents' house, sell your car and move the fuck out. You know what I mean? Like,
you live at home and you're driving a nice car. I mean, listen,
dude, I couldn't imagine, like, having a nice car, being at the bar, pulling up in a nice car.
Yeah.
Girl gets attracted to you. You're like,
back to your
yeah, let's
go
back to my place, and like, your mom and dad are there. Like that's like I don't even know. Like I don't think a girl's gonna look at that and like like oh he's driving. Like you know what that thing. You know what that makes you think? Like you're driving your parents' car.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I remember when I had my car now. Like I kind of felt like that. Like people probably think I'm driving like my parents' car.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like I look young. Like I'm driving a nice car.
Right.
But it's like, look, I was getting parked in my driveway.
Yeah.
I'm paying for it. I'm paying for everything. And that's the thing, too, like you said, like, not even just groceries, but just, like, a lot of times when you're living at your parents' house, like, even your car insurance is still under your parents' car insurance. Maybe you're paying them. That's so, once you go out on your own,
that bill
boosts
jumps
up crazy.
Oh, my God, dude, they're I don't even like the insurance.
No, I hate it, man.
Because I'm only 25, so my insurance drops next year. I'm paying an arm.
They say that.
Leg.
They say it shit don't drop.
Nah,
I don't think so.
I mean, especially for me, I got 11 points.
I got 3 cars. My shit is fucking. It's brutal. If I had no car insurance, I could buy another fucking car.
Yeah.
Like it's basically a car payment.
Wild.
Now I have me and my wife's car, and like she has a BMW, and it's I don't know, it's just stupid shit. But like the bills add up, and like
they do.
And that's the thing. Like a lot of people that live at home can afford. Now look, housing and like especially like apartments, like it's definitely pricey. It's definitely expensive. That's why I feel like
the economy messed a lot of that stuff up.
The age for moving out, I think, was like 18, 19, 20, 21, that range. And now with inflation and the economy and things like that, a lot of people are staying home. But like, look, if you get a job and you want to grow, like, you can move out. I think, and look, a lot of people stay at home for different situations. A lot of people stay at home for different situations too. Like, if you have, you know, a single parent, like a widowed parent or something like that, and you're staying home for them, and like, look, there's different situations. That's why I say there's not really an age you can put on it. But like, once you're in a job and you're making good money, like it's time to move out. It's time to grow up.
It's time to go.
I don't know really much else about growing up. Like your personal appearance, like you said, like you went from like wearing the sweatpants and stuff like that to realizing like turtlenecks and suits, and like you gotta open them doors.
I'm trying to open all the doors. I want them all open.
Yeah, exactly.
I want them all out in front of me. I get to pick which one.
I don't even want to open them. I want to kick them the fuck down. Yeah. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? But so we're gonna go into the quote. I don't know how far we got into this episode. Like I said, they're gonna be shorter. We're just kind of hit and run on these topics. We're like growing up and personal appearance can run together because you know. As you grow up, your personal appearance changes.
Yes, it does.
Like if you went from a mechanic and then you went into an office setting, like obviously
my whole wardrobe changed.
And that's the thing. Like obviously, as mechanics aren't judged as much either for the way they dress.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
You
like
can be dirty and
like if a mechanic isn't wearing a full suit, but they have on, you know, you can wear. And look, you can wear jeans and a hoodie and still have a good personal appearance.
Yeah,
you know
absolutely.
what I mean? Like I can wear jeans, some loafers, and a nice hoodie that fits me good, not baggy and all that, and it's still a good personal appearance. But it's like, it's all in the way you carry yourself too.
It is.
And
you gotta have a good demeanor.
And it's all in growing up. And look, it's all part of the growing pains. So let's go into this quote. So my quote today, hopefully we get some more interactions on this one, is drinking feels different when you're celebrating.
You're damn right it does.
Like a big thing for me, I've been saying is like I'm trying to get away from just going out and drinking for the whatever. You know what I mean? Because like it does feel different when you're celebrating. And going with that, like
I did it for years.
Spending money on yourself feels better when you're rewarding yourself.
Yeah.
Like when you're spending money and it's like when you saved whatever, you saved 10 grand and then you go out and you buy them $600 shoes, like that shit feels better. You care about it more when you're just going out spending money. Like, look, I said to my wife the other day, I don't need clothes for 3 years. Like, I got so many clothes,
I got a shit ton of clothes,
and I don't need any more, and I don't want to buy anymore, and I'm not gonna buy anymore. But it's like when you save that money and you get yourself that nice thing, you care about it a little more too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll tell you what. When I was younger in high school, I used to run through cell phones. I probably ran through 30 fucking cell phones in the 4 years of high school. Honest to God. Dead serious. I had a week where I broke 3 back to back. Dead serious. But once you start paying for it yourself,
You care about it a little.
I've had this phone for 2 years now.
and the thing is, like, when you save the money and then you go out and you buy it, like, there's more worth to it to you, just because, like, you put more into it. Like, I go to Marshalls and spend $200 and have 50 new shirts, but it's like, I'm just gonna go out and let them shirts get all fucked up because it's like I didn't put nothing into that. Now, when you go and you save your money and you say, you go to the store and you buy a Burberry sweater, like you've got some more like value to that, and you care a little bit more.
But you don't bring it out the closet much.
Those are the two things. Like, drinking feels different when you're celebrating 100%. Like what we've been talking about. Like, for our birthdays, like we're gonna go out, we're gonna celebrate. That's gonna be like a night to remember. I don't know how many drinking nights I remember, which is like not because I got blacked out drunk. There's a couple of them, but like there's a couple like memorable nights that like I went out, like Christmas parties, like there was you
remember the ones that have value,
the big like the big times I went out and like really like celebrated something. Like, even like I had a birthday, my wife got me like a section at it wasn't even like a club, it was just a small club, but like all my friends were there, we bought bottles, like that's something like I remember. But when I just go out to the bar with my friends and drink, and look, it's a good time.
Wake up the next morning regret.
Yeah, that's like, but like when you go out and you have them good nights and you talk about them for the next like 2 weeks, like that feels different. And like that's like all 2024. I'm trying to do them things that make me feel different.
Right, and you could also have one of those nights that turn into one of those nights.
Exactly, like there's those nights where
you have a night where you just going out to have a couple drinks with your buddy and you end up opening the door talking to somebody.
Exactly, or like you go out with your friends and then another group of your friends are out there and maybe you're having drinks and then you decide like, yo, let's go out to Atlantic City. You know what I mean? Like something like that. Like that's a memorable night, and that it can turn into one. But like, I just think like it just feels different.
It does.
You know what I mean? And like even like we've been talking about different trips and things like that we want to go on. Like when you plan a trip and you go on it, like it feels way different than when like Saturday morning we're like, oh, let's go down to AC to the beach for the day.
Yeah, it feels like way better.
It feels way better when you plan something. Yep. Maybe you spend $500-$600 more than what you would spend, but it's like that feeling of celebrating, or that feeling of saving and then spending it on one big thing. Like it feels good. But
yes,
episode 2, Big Z and the Wolf. Like we said last time, man, go on dads4america.shop.
Go get them
we got
shirts.
Our gear and drinks on us if we see you at the bar with it.
Yeah, if you got it on, drinks on me.
We got it. And listen,
I'm going to be honest with you. It depends on the day of week, but I'm going to buy all your drinks that night.
That's what I was going to say. And sometimes we buy a lot of drinks. But till next time, we appreciate everybody. Keep liking, subscribing, viewing all that. And look, send us a message.
Reach out.
What do you want us to talk about? Give us some topics. Give us some scenarios. We'll tell you how we deal with it. And look, who the hell are we? We don't know yet, but we're getting there. We're doing big things. And 2024, I think that's our year, which is something everybody says. But we're grinding.
We're working. It's early still.
It's early still. And we're here. We're getting after it. On New Year's Eve. Like a lot of people are sleeping in. They're trying to have a big night. We're up early. We're grinding.
Bread today.
And we're making it happen. We got a big day tomorrow.
Yes, we do.
It's going to be too late. But listen, if you screenshotted us and you've seen us in the Mummers Parade, send us those photos because we're going to be there, baby.
Yes, we will be in the
Shout out
Mummers.
to the Jesters. I'm excited. We'll be there next year, too, so hopefully we get a big following for us, the Growing Pains podcast, down there at the Mummers Parade. But I hope everybody has a big year, and we'll see you on the next podcast.